Okay. Hey, Damon, happy Monday, my friend. How are you, brother?
I'm great, Kurt. Happy Monday to you.
Hey, you know what? Let's do a little stretching. Come on, let's get a little stretch.
Oh, that hurt.
No, you know what, Damon, while we're at it, how about a little cheer for today? You ready? I don't know if you guys, I have problems with spelling, but ready? We're going to do a little cheer. Ready?
Let's go.
Give me a T.
T.
Give me an A.
A.
Give me another A.
Another A.
Give me a C.
C.
Diane, Diane and Damon, what does that spell?
TAAC.
TAAC. All right, guys. Hey, happy Monday. Thank God it's Monday. Welcome to Manufacturing Monday Motivation. And I'm with my partner in crime, my brother from another mother out in Seattle, Damon Pistolka. Damon, great to have you here, brother. And today we're with this sunshine, this breath of fresh air, with DiAnn Beyer. DiAnn, happy Monday. How are you?
Happy Monday to you. I am fabulous. Manifesting greatness today and every day.
That is awesome. So, man, that was a great little cheer that you had going on, by the way. So thank you very much for participating. So we spelled a word TAAC, and we're thinking maybe Tic Tacs. I love Tic Tacs. Everybody loves Tic Tacs. But we're talking about a different TAC today.
We are.
Diane, could you please we're going to do a quick intro. We won't take a deep dive just yet. But what does TAAC stand for, please?
TAAC stands for Trade Adjustment Assistance Center. And that is for a trade adjustment assistance for firms program or a TAAC program. And that is a manufacturer's resource for cost sharing funding.
Cost sharing funding. Now, do you offer funding? Is that what I'm understanding? Is that what you're saying?
So firms that have been negatively impacted by trade, who also are who are suffering from declines in employment and in sales, will meet eligibility requirements, and then they can participate in our program in which we could match funding for programs for projects up to $75,000.
Damon, did you hear $75,000? Guys, if your curiosity is piqued, if you are a manufacturer out there, you need to stick around with us because we're going to explain what that means. But what you heard was Diane has a program that she is part of. It is a nationwide program for all manufacturers that qualify for this program for funding up to help you up to $75,000. Diane, before we dig deep into that, and boy, we are going to dig deep, let's learn a little bit about Diane, your background.
Yep.
You're a Temple gal. How did you end up here at TAAC? Let's learn a little bit more about Diane.
So I wish I had a great story. I wish I could say I grew up with family in the business, manufacturing. It's been in my blood. Then I followed my father through the manufacturing forum, but no such luck. No. Truth be told, I went to Temple as an accounting major, and at that time, all accounting majors were being groomed and told that if you want to be best of the best, you needed to go through and get your degree and get your CPA and follow up with a big 8 firm. And what happened just as I was graduating, Big 8 started merging and consolidating and collapsing within the industry, and we had corporate America going into their shutdowns, and I was competing as a new grad with people who had 15 years experience. And so, I took some odd jobs here and there, but my story really is I just needed a job, and it was the manufacturing industry that opened the door and blessed me. And it's that path of least followed, pave my own way and persevere, and I got into manufacturing, and all doors and roads led here to the TAAC program. And now, instead of just working for one firm and helping them internally with performance metrics and accounting information systems, I am blessed to work here at the TAAC Center at MATAAC and help many manufacturers.
Wow,
compete
that
with.
is awesome.
Nice.
And so again, so folks out there are millennials who are pursuing different degrees, and we're trying to dispel that myth of, manufacturing down dirty. There are incredible, wonderful opportunities at manufacturing. You are a walking testament to that. You've built a wonderful, dynamic career. So let's explain. So you're at MATAAC, right?
We are
Mid-Atlantic.
We are
Mid-Atlantic.
for the Mid-Atlantic Trade Adjustment Assistance Center. Yes, we are known for our abbreviations. We are MATAAC, Mid-Atlantic Trade Adjustment Assistance Center. Yes.
So share with everybody what states, and again, this program is in all 50 states plus Puerto Rico.
Yep.
Just share a little bit on your region. What states fall under the Mid-Atlantic area?
Certainly. So currently Mid-Atlantic TAAC, what we focus on are firms in Pennsylvania, Delaware, Maryland, Virginia, West Virginia, and the great Washington, D.C.
Wonderful. Nice. So that's quite a scope, heavy population, a lot of great manufacturing. Pennsylvania, obviously, a wonderful state of manufacturing, and even the smaller states, West Virginia, lots of wonderful manufacturing in the state of Virginia. So let's take it another step further. Let's start going into tech. How you explain $75,000. Let's start walking through some of the processes.
So let me start with saying there's firms who are suffering with sales declines and employment might not know that they are being negatively impacted by global trade. And that's fine because we have an excellent eligibility analyst next door who is the master of making it happen. He will know and help them with that. Fortunately, some firms do know, and they know that they are being patent infringed upon, and they know exactly what company and what country is impacting them. But if you meet the eligibility requirements, we actually have two ways, and one can go up to 75%. For example, if you need to do a project to adjust and compete globally that only costs $30,000, let's say you want a website enhancement, and anybody who's been following you, Kurt, knows that we want to clean up the wee on websites, right? Or maybe we want to do e-commerce and get that salesman 24/7 online.
That's right.
Or maybe cybersecurity is very important and we've got a $30,000 project or less. That case there, MATAAC pays 75%, and the firm can get a $30,000 project for $7,500 with MATAAC paying the difference. Now, if there's funding for projects greater than that, from $30,000 to $150,000, MATAAC picks up the 50-50 split and cost shares with the firm.
Wow. So all right, let's just do, Damon. Let's do a little recap on the math on that one. Okay. So just to recap, if there's a $30,000 project, DiAnn, TAAC will cover 75% of that program.
Or less, we cover 75%. We will pay $22,500 on that for the manufacturer. Usually it's a smaller manufacturer who wants to do that.
Right.
Maybe it's a manufacturer that because of the negative impact, they are having cash flow issues and they just can't commit to a larger project. Whatever, each individual manufacturer is different in their own needs. So we do have the funding to change and adjust to what they need.
Right. So as you mentioned, so it could be, say, a $30,000 project. Now it could be lean. Maybe lean would help them be more competitive. You mentioned e-commerce. It could be ISO. You mentioned e-commerce. It could be cybersecurity. You mentioned e-commerce.
I heard e-commerce in there.
I think now it could be a SaaS product. It could be other software. It could be e-commerce, right? Did I hear that correctly?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Intangible projects, manufacturing, engineering, IT solutions, even training for employees. It cannot be capital. It can for capital building or equipment. It cannot be salaries. In fact, we don't even provide this funding directly to the firm. This goes directly to the consultant when the project is completed, so that the firm does not have a income tax issue on their balance and income statements.
Perfect. So now $30,000 project, you cover 75% of it. Skin in the game for the manufacturer is at 7,500 at 25%, as you mentioned. Let's take a deep dive into the 150 that you mentioned. I believe I heard $150,000. So, yep. So let's say a manufacturer's out there. They're like, man, I have a whole new ERP system. I'm going to tackle our beloved Chris Harrington at Gen Alpha Technology. Yep. We want to take a super deep dive into building out a configurator or more e-commerce. Let's walk through, what does that $150,000 look like for a manufacturer?
So for a manufacturer who wants to do more than a $30,000 project to increase their global competitiveness and turn their situation around, we pay 50-50 split on a cost share program, which we will pay up to $75,000 on those projects. Yep.
Moment of silence.
Yeah.
Damon, 50%, $75,000. So let's take that another step further. If a manufacturer, okay, 150,000, that's a big number. That's a big juicy number. What's the time frame on that, DiAnn? Like, what's the bandwidth that I have to do that project? Okay, so once you're at the part of having your adjustment proposal approved by EDA for the project's funding, and you're in place of starting the projects, you have 6 months to start your first project, and then you have up to 5 years to get the projects implemented and done. 5 years.
Now that is our third phase. That's our final phase, because you're jumping ahead to projects. Okay. We didn't get through petitions and adjustment proposals.
That's how I was cutting line, Damon. You know that. So
yeah, that's all right.
So let's walk us through that process, DiAnn. Let's take a deep dive right there.
So the TAAC program, Trade Adjustment Assistance for Firms, was established through Congress and legislation through the Trade Act in the 1970s, and we've been reauthorized and affirmed through the decades. This is, since it's enacted by Congress, we have to follow the rules, and firms must meet eligibility requirements. Mm-hmm. That is handled through our eligibility department with my colleague, Ted Lee, who is an esteemed colleague. We are so blessed to have him on the team. Yeah. He walks firms through and does all the heavy lifting with the petition. Nice. There is no cost to a firm for the petition. We complete the petition, which basically means we go through and analyze the data and the information and basically create an application of sorts to EDA to prove that the firm has been trade impacted, right? We call it a petition. That gets submitted and accepted by EDA, which then will certify it. Now, that's our terminology. That just means that EDA agrees that you've been trade impacted, so they're certifying that you're trade impacted and that you're eligible for the program. So once you're certified through your petition phase, you move to the adjustment proposal phase, which you meet with my colleague down the hall here, Nathan Hankinson, who is our senior project manager, and he works with the management team to analyze the industry you're in, your strengths, your weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. It does a full walkthrough of the projects you want to, and we create an adjustment proposal. Some people in the industry call it a business recovery plan. I prefer adjustment proposal. That's our internal time, because not everybody is in recovery. You might just be in a place where you have to move to a better place and adjust. In doing so, we then have to submit that again for EDA's approval, that the projects we're recommending and that the company would like to do meets the projects that are approved through the plan. Once we have EDA's approval, which basically, let's unpack that, right? To unpack it is, federal funding comes from taxpayer dollars. Right. So basically, we want the second approval on the adjustment proposal to say we are in line, we're meeting the requirements of the approved projects, and these are projects that EDA is okay with paying for. Once you are approved on your project, you may start your projects and get moving on global competitiveness and improving your situation.
There's just so much to uncover right there. So yeah. I want to touch on. You just glow when you talk about your team. Now, you mentioned a couple of teammates here. I know you have an amazing director. Can we run through your roster? Who's
absolutely? I'd love to. Thank you so much for this opportunity. First of all, our MATAAC MidAtlantic Trade Adjustment Center is run by our fabulous and most wonderful director, Adrienne Woodruff.
Yep.
We would be lost without her guidance and direction. Then the next person on our team is Robin Davidson, our Director of Business Development. If anybody is curious and wants more information about the TAAC, please reach out to Robin immediately. She has all the information and it can help you through that. If you are a firm who's like, sign me up, I need help, let me get a free eligibility analysis, that immediately contact Ted Lee. He's our eligibility analyst. And then wrapping up is Nathan Hankinson, who is our senior project manager. He helps everybody with their APs and their projects. And then there's me. And one of the best things about my job is once a firm completes the programming and they have finished their projects, I get to follow back up and write their confidential success story and turn that into EDA as another program success.
That is awesome.
Awesome.
Man, I'll tell you, and Damon and I, we've had the honor and privilege of interviewing a couple of your teammates around the country. We were talking before we went live, and so a big shout out to Teresa Stockton. She was with the New York TAAC. She covered New York, New Jersey, and Puerto Rico. Her and her husband just wonderfully moved down south, and so she's now with the TAAC down south. God bless her. She's super excited, just getting her feet planted there. So we'll have to have her on the program sometime. Janie Hatchett, if you're out there, our dear friend up in Ann Arbor. She covers Michigan, Ohio, and Indiana. We have Jack Dye, who covers the Great Lakes, or I guess Janie's with Great Lakes. Jack Dye covers, he's out of Chicago, Illinois, Wisconsin, and Minnesota. We have David Holbert. Am I saying? Yeah, David Holbert covers Damon's part of the world, Oregon, Washington, I think Idaho. Yeah. In one thing I want to mention, what's that?
And Alaska.
And Alaska, yeah.
That's right, and Alaska. Yeah, our dear friends in Alaska. Now, you mentioned you on your team, so I know like David has Patrick. They do a great job. Teresa, she always talks about how they do a lot of the heavy lifting for the manufacturer. So again, Janie just dropped a hi. Hey, Janie, happy Monday to you, my friend. Welcome. So, DiAnn, regardless of what state the manufacturer is in, they are going to connect with somebody that is passionately helping their manufacturer. Just what does that process look like? Like, let's take a step back. Just like, okay, man, you've piqued my curiosity. I want to just start that process. Okay. They reach out to you and just kind of like, what would their expectations be as far as communication, process, timelines? What would that look like for the manufacturer?
So if you reach out to me and you're part of our service area, we immediately get you involved with, if you're looking for more information, we'll get you more information. You can always visit our website. But if you're saying, I need an eligibility analysis right now, immediately Ted takes over and sits down with them and goes through all the requirements. Timing on that, going from petition, it can vary depending on where a firm is and how quickly information comes in and how long how quick a turnaround we can get the petition completed and turned in. I'll be honest, Ted is amazing, right? Yep. First of all, no firm should ever disqualify themselves. That's like my father always said, leave money on the table. If you don't know for sure you're eligible or not, you need to have a conversation with Ted. Yes. I turned the phrase, it's a go until Ted says no.
It's a go until Ted says no. There.
Yeah.
You need to have a conversation with Ted, and he does all the heavy lifting on our petitions and gets you down there to EDA and gets approved. When I say he makes it happen, he will evaluate your situation. He may come out and say to the firm, you don't qualify now, but it looks like you might qualify in 2 to 3 months. Let's have a follow-up conversation. One of his successes is just recently in the last 6 months, he did have a firm touch base with us early in the week. He did a quick review and said, you qualify, but you qualified this month and the month is over Friday. So within a week, the firm and Ted moved mountains to make the petition get down there. So timing is variable depending on circumstances and situations, but you have to have that eligibility and call. You have to know. You can't leave money on the table.
Yeah. That's the big thing, I think, because, you know, you can easily say, "Oh, I'm not affected." Well, you really don't know. I mean,
This is true.
and somebody that's working on it every day knows all the pieces where you can look to see if you have been affected.
Right. Here's the thing, right? We get so caught up in our immediate worlds that we don't realize we have now moved to a global network.
Yeah.
We have now moved globally, and there could be a firm halfway around the world who, like we discussed, e-commerce, has a 24/7 website available, and people are clicking on it and making purchases without even realizing that they're somewhere else, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you might not know that you're impacted.
Right. Absolutely. So again, anybody out there listening, catching this, regardless of when you catch this, and another name I want to give a shout out. We have Amy up in New England. She does an amazing job. So again, whatever state that you're in, there you're covered by the TAAC program. There's somebody to reach out to, you know, connect with anybody at the TAAC. If you just do a Google search for, you know, if you're in the Mid-Atlantic area, one of the states that DiAnn just mentioned, you can reach out to her. And if not, she can guide you to whatever state or whatever center that you need to get lined with. And what I absolutely love, like we mentioned, Patrick, Ted, every center has like that expert, that watchdog that is there. And as DiAnn just said, until they say no, it's a go, man. So just, you know, explore it, check it out. It is worth at least having that conversation. So DiAnn, you mentioned, we kicked things off. You talked about, you know, you're accounting by trade, you're a Temple grad, all these wonderful things. You found this wonderful fulfillment in manufacturing. Just share for any young folks, or maybe somebody's taking a career shift. Just share a bit about why is manufacturing so exciting for you? Why do you love what you do and love being in this world?
You know, you meet the greatest people in manufacturing. I've got, you know, we are the creative thinkers, we're the innovators, we're the doers, we're the people that are coming up with new products that nobody's ever heard before, right? You know, like my kids tease me, I went to school back in the land of the dinosaurs, right? And, you know, yeah, because when we went to school, you know, I'm old enough to admit, no cell phones, no computers, no Google. You had to do a research paper. You had to walk to the library.
Yeah.
Where the dinosaurs chasing you on your way in, right?
Yeah.
It was barbaric back then, wasn't it? My
God,
how did we survive?
But look at all of the things that have been developed and created and that we do. And man, the manufacturing industry has so many incredibly wonderful people. I mean, these are.
And you know what? And think about this. There is not a piece of technology that can take place without manufacturing.
Mm-hmm.
There is not a single piece of technology that can take place without manufacturing. And it's just, you know, there's just so much wonderful opportunity in manufacturing here, DiAnn. So I love going in that direction. So we've talked about your team. We threw out a bunch of teammates around the country. TAAC is just absolutely wonderful. Now, DiAnn, we've become fast, wonderful friends. I love our friendship. I love your emails. Absolutely hysterical, man. When I it just makes my day. Whenever I see DiAnn in my inbox, I'm just like, man, my smile's already perking up. Where did you get like this contagious enthusiasm, this killer sense of humor? Who inspires you? How did we get here?
So there's a difference between people who inspire me and people who influence me.
Okay, good.
And major influencers in my life are obviously my family. My father had a quote, and he lives it. You know, attitude is everything. Make sure you get yours right. And years ago, he had a stroke and was told he'd never walk again. He went, watch me. And he not only walked again, but he drove to Florida many times and back. my mom is great. She's a school teacher, and she gave us that great you want to be growth mindset, and you want to be an active learner and learn something new every day. But man, mom was ahead of her time, because mom said, be kind to everyone. There's enough ugliness in the world. Don't add to it. And know that everybody comes to a situation with what she called their own picture book. She's an art teacher, so picture book, you know.
Yeah.
But basically, she was DEI, right? Diversity, equity, inclusion, before that was even a key. Right? We impact each other. We need to know everybody comes from a different place, different background, different experiences, right? Obviously, my husband, you know, the keeper of my heart, my soulmate, one who makes me a better person, right? makes me laugh and through all the dark times and is my happily ever after, right? And my 3 great kids, man, they challenge me. But who inspires me is a different question, right?
Yep.
And we have so many people who can inspire. We have greats, Martin Luther King, Dalai Lama, Gandhi, Princess Diana. I'm sure I'm going to miss a million, and I definitely think we need more greats now in our time. But inspiration is everywhere, right? If we take it back to simple science, every action has a reaction. We impact each other. So who inspires me? You and Damon. I am a much better person today from knowing you guys and meeting you guys last year. You've helped me grow tremendously. So I thank you. Our LinkedIn connections, they share, and through them we learn. I had an opportunity. I'm going to little DiAnn secret here. I had an opportunity to teach middle school for 4 years. You want inspiration? Talk to a 6th, 7th, and 8th grader,
Yeah.
right? But a friend of mine called me years ago and said, DiAnn, I need to thank you. And I said, for what? He said, the greatest gift we can give is to give of ourselves in a way that it positively impacts a stranger, in a way you'll never know, for a person you never know, you'll never meet. And that had me look at things completely different, right? Now, I didn't get a sense of accomplishment because there was no connection. He wouldn't tell me who I helped or what I said. He left me hanging. But that right there put a pivot on. Anytime you see something, somebody, witness a reaction, if we make the relationships most important, inspiration's everywhere. We inspire, we impact, we cause each other to change and grow and be better people. So I thank you for that. Thank you so much.
Man, that was drop the mic, Damon, man.
What do you even say after that? I mean, speaking my language, man. Speaking my language.
For being so good today. My goodness gracious, man. I can't even unpack that. I can't even repeat that. So we've got Shannon dropped a note. Man, our wonderful Nicole Donnelly just dropped a note. What an inspiration she shared here. Let me pull that up on the stage. Thank you, Nicole. Man, you need to connect with DiAnn. As a matter of fact, Nicole's she's in your corner of the world. She might help you. She's right outside of DC. She might help you get one of those DC.
Nicole and I are connected. Yes, she's nice. one of that wonderful LinkedIn community we have that inspires and connects with us.
We do need to scratch surface here on a couple of things. How about a shout out to Dad? Okay.
Yeah.
God bless Dad for being relentless. Dad might not ever walk again. Watch me. Kudos to Dad, man. And I know when you and I met, I think there was a couple of health things going on, and we've gone back and forth and shared on that. So thank you for sharing that. What an inspiration. What a words of wisdom from Mom. Just great. And we've talked about kids and stuff. Just great inspiration here. And what's this have to do with business? Absolutely everything. Because guys, when you connect with somebody at the TAAC program, this is what you get. It's just this contagious enthusiasm, this unapologetic attitude and relentlessness to help manufacturers succeed, and just a woman of high integrity. DiAnn, let's go here for a second. What's DiAnn doing on weekends? How about some personal? What interest, hobbies? Saving manufacturers by day. What does DiAnn do for little hobbies and interests? Let's get a little personal.
So I am a photographer. I love my photography. I do nature and portraits. I'm an amateur, but it's a passion. I journalize every day.
Do you really?
I absolutely do. And one of the amazing things, you want to feel fabulous. So I am a January 1st baby. So resolutions are important to me. But if you want to have a feeling of accomplishment, get a journal and journal in it every day. And start on your birthday, since January is so far away now. And then the feeling to have completed it and have 365 days where you've stuck with even if it's just 2 lines, even if, that's incredible. And so the journaling has got me into writing some short stories, children's stories. I'm an avid gardener. I'm great at weeds. I'm waiting for weeds to make a great comeback because I'll be aces. So, I'm addicted to ancestry and genealogy. I am constantly chasing down the family, and I think I found an 18th grandfather. So,
Oh, nice.
pretty
Well,
exciting.
You mean an 18th back?
Yes.
Whoa.
yeah, that's pretty deep. That goes back a few centuries or two.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
It's pretty cool.
right. So let's do this as we wind down. I know you're super busy. I want to be mindful of your time here, DiAnn. So let's talk. Okay, let's come back to TAAC. Let's talk a little bit about manufacturers. And so I just want to kind of recap. So manufacturers, if you, I don't like the term, but the term is trade injured. If you've been trade injured, or another word, I hate to use the word
Trade
suffered.
impacted. Negatively trade impacted.
Negatively trade impacted. I like that much better. Let's say if you've been negatively trade impacted, and it's really hard to think of a manufacturer or an industry that hasn't had a negative impact in some way or another. So what we want you to do is reach out to somebody at TAAC, reach out to somebody on her team. DiAnn, what some of the projects that you've seen over the years? I know everything's confidential, so without revealing anything, but any success situations, any success stories, any types of projects that you feel like really resonate or do well when folks come into the TAAC program?
So I'm not going to answer it that way because each firm is different and unique on its own, right?
Yep.
So each firm is going to have their own needs and want to put in projects that are going to help them. Some of the projects, maybe there's a marketing project, or maybe they want to implement a new product and want to do some product studies, or we've already discussed the website or ISO certification, or maybe they need some management training. Maybe, one of the things I hear a lot is that, those new level managers, you go from employees to management, top managers know what they're doing and they're delegating down, but that new management might need some training in there, or maybe a new piece of equipment's come in that employees need some training on to run efficiently. I mean, it all really depends on each firm's needs. The great thing is, and really, this is one of the things I love about my job, it doesn't matter what the firm's issues are or what resolutions they want to put in place with the projects. They always leave the TAAC program better than they enter it. Yeah. They always have a success story, right? There's never a time where I sit down and write, oh, this TAAC didn't make it, this firm didn't make it, not a success. No, because they're implementing projects that are going to make things better.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Our good friend Jack Dye, you mentioned him, he refers to us as the 50% or 75% off coupon.
Yep.
We could be like the genie in the bottle or the fairy godmother,
right?
Yeah.
Or the lottery ticket, but no matter what they implement, there will be a success story. And that's the other thing, like that's what's so great about manufacturing industry, right? We're working with a firm who wants to do better, and therefore they're going to do better with their employees, and they're going to create jobs, and that's going to make a difference for the employees and those families. So that's going to make a difference in their communities, right? And they're building futures, right? Manufacturing industry, we build futures, we build community, we build things, and to have help in implementing projects to make that firm's success, that just grows us exponentially.
Right. Man, what an admirable cause. And no wonder you are so passionate for this process. Damon, what do you have?
Well, I just think the TAAC program is so versatile that, you just I just sit here and it just boggles my mind, all the different things that you could utilize the money for. And like you said, it's a 50% off coupon up to $150 or up to $75,000 on a $150,000 project. This is not something to overlook, because if you can easily, if say you're out and you're going to spend money on some new solid modeling programs for your engineers, and you got to send them all to training, or you got to, you're implementing an ERP system and you need training on that, or like you said, it could be lean training, because of these lean event trainers are, you know, they come into a 5-day event. It's not cheap, you know, these kind of stuff. There's so many different things in marketing and e-commerce. If you needed somebody to really work, you just sales training,
engineering,
God,
information technology, financial management, general management.
I never even thought about that too, because any of the consulting services too, like if I want to relay out my facility, I could hire a manufacturing facility layout firm to come in and give us, you know, geez, there's just so much stuff.
You need to meet the eligibility requirements, but once you do, it's really.
It's an abundant of and even mom would be super proud. Like it even covers inclusion if you want workforce development, right? Is that covered, DiAnn? Like if you,
I'm sure we, intangible, intellectual.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exit strategy, Damon. So there's all sorts of opportunities. And one thing I apologize if I'm going to be redundant, or I just want to make sure that we cover, if there's $150,000 project, as DiAnn said, that can be spread out over 5 years. So say, for example, let's do marketing services. My dear friend, Nicole Donnelly, she crushes it. She does an amazing job doing marketing, inbound marketing. So say if you had a $30,000 a year contract with a marketing firm of some type, or ERP, or again, whatever that program is, and you spread it out over 5 years, as DiAnn just said, that's at a 50% coupon. So it doesn't have to be all at once. There's not a huge capital outlay, but it puts, it's heavy skin in the game for the manufacturer.
Yeah.
At a 50% discount. So it is such a powerful tool and resource. So,
man. And here's another kept secret.
Please.
That we're trying to tell everybody. We also partner with other programs and we collaborate. And so if the firm gives us permission and we know of another program, we make those introductions, and then that can collaborate and layer resources. So, we're not just a standalone either in some cases. So,
and I want to piggyback on that, DiAnn. You work, and I'm sorry to keep you work closely, the TAACs work closely with a lot of the MEPs around the country, the manufacturing extension partnerships. Can you just explain that relationship a little bit on what you see in different things?
Oh. My computer just buzzed. We work with third-party networks, and it's not only and MEPs is one of them, but there could be a state project that or a state grant that's available currently that we are connected with somebody at the state that we could connect our firms to and say, hey, you might want to touch base with, let us introduce you to, they can do this. Now, some of those things always change depending on what the situation is. Last year we did have some states do some grant funding for firms who had switched gears during the pandemic and started producing PPE and changed their product lines. So, some of the states did some grant money there that we were able to make connections to and layer the recovery effort, or the funding available for them. So we're always looking at avenues to connect with other partners and get the best for American manufacturers. We're not isolated and on an island alone. We all impact each other and influence each other. So we're a team, and we got to have those connections strong.
Man, you've dropped a lot of a lot of mic drop moments here today, DiAnn. So how about, I want to be mindful. Let's wrap up on this. Okay. So guys, again, reach out, connect with DiAnn here on LinkedIn, first and foremost. Check out your local TAAC, regardless of what state you're in. If you are a provider, service provider, a vendor to manufacturers, man, tell them about this program. If you're a marketer out there, what Teresa Stockton likes to say, when she's talking to marketers or service providers, ERP, whatever, she says, give me your nose, not this nose, your nose. So if you have a rejection, pull it in a TAAC, and TAAC, as a marketer, TAAC could be a resource or a partner to you to help complete those projects. And what if we could just get this federal fund, these tax dollars, to work in our manufacturers and how much more competitive they can be. So this is absolutely wonderful. We heard about mom, dad, your 3 beautiful kids, family, your inspiration. I don't want to put you on the spot. How about, we always love popular, famous, inspirational quotes. You mentioned like MLK, a couple of your Gandhi, a couple of your inspirations and influencers.
Oh, there's so many.
quotes that you want to leave everybody with as we close out on this wonderful Monday?
Well, I feel that I'm a very positive, happy person, and I work at setting my dial to manifest greatness every day. And the only way to live your best life is to do it day in and day out. It doesn't magically happen when you're 90, and you look back at 112 and go, well, that was my best life. You have to actively work with it. So I'm going to give you one of mine. 5 minutes of unhappiness is 5 minutes too long. Make your day great.
Yep.
5 minutes of unhappiness is 5 minutes too long. God bless you, DiAnn. So, man, that was good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
DiAnn, thank you. This was epic. Thanks. Great conversation here. So again, shout out to everybody, all of our friends and the TAAC network. Please reach out to DiAnn. Please connect with DiAnn. And we have all sorts of fun programs throughout the week. Damon, you have a couple LinkedIn Lives coming up on Tuesday and Thursday, 6 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Pacific. We have a wonderful guest on our show on Friday coming up at 1:32 Eastern time, 10:32 Pacific. So guys, we, just like DiAnn, 5 minutes is just too long. Go out there and just keep crushing it. Have an amazing Monday. Have a killer rest of your week. DiAnn, hang out with us for 1 second. We're going to shut down the program.
Have a great week.
I appreciate you so much.
How about one more cheer?
T.
Give me a T. Give me an A.
Hey.
Give me another A.
Hey.
Give me a C.
C.
That'd go wrong way.
TAAC. So, hey, get out there and keep crushing it, guys. Thank you. Have an awesome day.
Thank you. Much appreciation.
Yeah.